Hi everybody, I'm getting ready to make some delicious fried breakfast potatoes. I'm gonna be adding some bacon. I've got some yellow bell pepper, some onions, and of course the large potato. I've got some paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, and a little bit of cayenne, salt and pepper. I've got my skillet, it's nice and hot. Set it about medium low. You don't want it really high, because you don't want to burn your bacon, because this is the first thing that's gonna go in, okay? So I've got 3 thick bacon strips. I'm gonna cut them up into nice cubes. Let me show them to you. Very easy. See? About this size. Now I know a lot of people are afraid of frying potatoes because sometimes your potatoes can come out mushy, some are burned, some are still raw. I'm gonna show you how to make them super easy today. So my skillet is ready, medium low. I'm gonna add my bacon. This is the first thing that's gonna go into the skillet. Now the reason you don't want the heat to be too high is because you don't wanna burn the bacon. You want it to release its grease first thing, because that's the grease that we need for the potatoes. So my bacon goes all around like this. Now I'm gonna give it just a little bit of time for it to release its grease right there. So it's been about 1.5 minutes, and as you can see, it's starting to release its grease. That's exactly what I wanted to do. It's starting to get just a little bit golden. Now I'm ready to add my potatoes. So here's my large potato. This is a russet potato. You can use any kind of potatoes that you want. I've used the red ones, the gold ones. Russet is really what I go for, okay? I like it. I just think they're perfect for frying. Now I'm gonna cut them up with a small knife like this, because this is the way my mama always did it. Now you wanna make sure that you cut up your potatoes to be about the same size, because if you cut up a big piece and then a small piece, naturally the small one is gonna burn by the time the big one is ready. And that's the end of it. So I've got all my potatoes on top of the bacon. I'm gonna give it just a little bit of time for the bacon to continue to release more grease before I give them a good toss. Just leave them alone, no cover. Now I'll put them in place. And you just keep on rotating it like this. So I'm in between tosses. I'm gonna get my seasoning ready. In this little bowl, I'm gonna put my 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, about 1/8 of cayenne pepper. That'll give it just a little bit of a kick. But if you don't wanna add it in here, you can leave it out. Or you can add a little bit more. And I'm gonna mix it all in together like this. And it's ready. Now it's time for me to add my onions. I've cut them up like julienne style into little strips. That gives it good texture. You can cut them any way you want. You're letting your potatoes cook from the bottom and get golden. And then you toss them around again and let that bottom part get golden. And you take it slowly, just like that. You don't want to be stirring and stirring and stirring, because then you're gonna get them real mushy. And you don't need a lid for this either. You see, you can do it all without a lid perfectly. So I've given it another toss. Now I'm gonna add my onions. Oh, this is gonna be delicious. Now as you can see, we're taking it one step at a time. You're gonna have the perfect fried breakfast potatoes like this. I'm gonna give my onions just a little bit of time for them to get slightly translucent. It's starting to smell beautiful in here. So now that I've given it a good toss and my onions are slightly translucent, I'm gonna add my peppers. Now you can add the orange, the red, the green, whichever you like. I think the yellow give it a nice color, but they're all delicious. So it's all up to you, just which ones you wanna add in here. Or you can leave them out if you don't wanna use the peppers. Now I'm gonna season. I'm gonna add a little bit right here on top. I'm gonna add some pepper, my salt, and I'm gonna toss them together. See how they're getting beautiful color now? That's the paprika. It's giving it beautiful color. Now I'll add a little bit more of the seasoning. You can add as much as you want. There it is. A little bit more of the pepper. And just a little more salt. Now I'll toss them again. Make sure that all the seasoning is distributed evenly on all the potatoes. Look at this. And that's perfect. Now you don't want to be tossing them around too much, remember? So I'm going to leave them in place like this. Then I'll give them a couple of more tosses. Then I'm going to check them and they should be ready by then. Super easy. So my potatoes are ready. I'm adding a little bit of chopped parsley. That'll give it a delicious flavor and a nice burst of color. Now, just a little bit ago, before I started the potatoes, I took my biscuits out of the oven. Look at this. Nice, big fat biscuits, nice and soft. That's what we're gonna be having today. You can serve them with toast, muffins, anything you like. So now we're ready to serve. So we're gonna be having this with fried eggs. But you know, these potatoes are so delicious. You can serve them with just about anything you want on the side. Look at that. A little pepper. A little of my everyday salsa. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to get into this. Look at this. This is a perfect breakfast. You can even have this any time of the day. Mm. 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 Delicious. So these are my fried breakfast potatoes. If you like my recipe, give me a thumbs up, send me a comment and tell me what you think. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to share. Thank you.